get some music going. All right, we're getting close. Oh, someone's left already. All right, folks. Let's about that volume. Let's turn that down a smidge. How's that background audio? Welcome. Good day. Right, I just re-upped my brew. I'm not going to be working on this guy today. I was just having a little bit of a noodle with him. This was the chap I was working on Wednesday. Hey, Topes. If any of you hung out on Wednesday, how's the audio, Toki? Background music at an appropriate level, not too intrusive, not too not there. I had these tunes on Wednesday night and I was jamming to them and nobody else could hear them. I watched some bits back from that stream and I was even dancing. Right, let's get that guy saved. I think he's already saved. I'm jumping into my 3 gobos in a trench coat. That's going to be our job for today. I'm going to try out one of these Cintiq glove things and see how I do. I've never really gone. Can't hear background music, but it could with the boss. Well, if you can hear me, let's. How's that, Tokes? Better? Worse? Happier? Sadder? Keep that as an ongoing thing if people can't hear the background music. Right, 3 goblins in a trench coat time. So last we hung out a week ago, I spent a fuckload of time texturing these guys, and then I hated it. So I kind of came out of ZBrush. Came back into ZBrush after the session and just smashed back a lot of that texture. So if I kind of mooch in on these guys now, you can see I've softened a lot of this out. It was too much. It was far too aggressive, and I think it was detracting from the overall sculpture. So, I mean, there are some bits of slightly heavier texture here, but I mean, I'm really happy with where they are. I think, oh, there's a little bit of a wiggle there I can fix. Select the scar. I'm on damn standard, not move. Oh, I've done so much ZBrush this week, I'm so used to things just being ready for me that I forget that I need to spend a little bit of time setting up my let's give it a nice little crease there as well. It's maybe a little too heavy. Groovy, sounds good. I think this sound will help. I chucked a little bit of a noise map onto the trench coat, added some asymmetry. I wanted to concentrate on adding a base plate today. So I mean, I didn't need to open up my 3 goblins in a trench coat scene because I've got a lot going on. So I'm actually going to work in a completely brand new scene, and I'm going to work myself up a little base, export it as a tool, and then import it again and add it to this. After that, I can export for print. I've had some thoughts. I kind of want to do some mittens on strings, just poking out of the hands, maybe one on the floor, but I can come to stuff like that later. Hopefully I'll have time for all of that today. I'm going to do a couple of admin moves before I get started. First job is to grab that smooth stronger brush. I cannot live without this now. I can't remember who showed it to me. But I'm forever indebted to that person, and also sort of cursed to have to do this every time. I'm pretty sure there's a way to set brush up so that it opens with all of this set. And I'm going to grab the render that I like as well, or the render set that I like, because what it does is it just gives me a slightly different lighting quality even when... So if I just pop a quick render off, it's going to look pretty tidy. It takes a bit longer. I realised as I was making my brew, I've desynced on my cups. I'm on my daddy mug today. I've also changed my setup at home, so I've got my drawing tablet right in front of me. Beforehand it was on a little arm here, and it was ruining my back. My back was bad. So let's grab a nice new file. I'm going to grab my default project because that's what I always do. We can come back to that Goblins in a trench coat in a little while. What I'm going to do here is insert a sphere, but I'm going to come into this menu and I'm going to initialize my sphere. So I've got a little bit more geometry to play with. So I can increase my divide, make it a little smoother and rounder. I mean, I don't need my internal divide because I'm going to think it in a bit, but and I can add a little taper to this, which makes me feel good. What I might do here as well is I'm going to add a little inner radius for my first one. That's just going to give me a nice little loop. I can come to my subtools, back up to my initial insert. We'll grab that one first, and then I'm going to do the same again. So I'm going to come back to this guy. I need to turn some stuff off, and then come back to my initialize menu. I'm going to get rid of my inner radius now entirely, and change my Z size again. It's not really what I want to do. I'm going to make all of that. I'll just import that and make it all a little smaller. So I'm back up to here. No, here. No, here. There we go. I'm going to insert one of those as well, so I can hide this stuff. And right now, I've got two subtools in play. I'm just going to squidge that one down a little and give myself a nice lip. Now I'm going to I'll sort out the bottom later. In fact, I might as well do that now. Let's do it now. Slightly techie stuff to start off the day. To pop that at the bottom of the list. And you should be smashing out. Why are you not? Because you're in this arbor. There we go. I mean, it's not perfectly neat. Probably. Let's just scale this one up slightly so we've got a little overlap there. Yep, that feels fine. I've got a nice little lip on the bottom as well. It's like a solid start to a base there. Now, I am going to make those. I'm not going to do anything with those just yet. What I want to do is very quickly add a little bit of something interesting here. My goblins are going to be in a town, so I'm going to see if I can figure out some sort of cobbled floor. I guess. This is me making a lot of shit up today. It's very much outside my wheelhouse to sculpt like this. But I figured it could be fun. Let's pop you back on. Alright. There's definitely some work to do on the base, but I wanna have some fun first. What I'm gonna do here is actually have a look and see what I've got in regards to brushes. Because ZBrush makes a bunch of this stuff easy. Got some stitches there. Sure, I saw some bricks around. I mean, there's going to be some great stuff in here I can play with. Let's watch Red mooch about through some menus. Super fun time had all round, guys. You know what, I'm probably just going to be faster doing it than trying to find where I saw that obscure bit of menu. So let's turn our white box off. Let's start sculpting some bricks. I don't need these to be full-size bricks, so I'm going to go with something like this. Let's get into geometry. Get our Dynamesh moving straight away. I'm going to turn some symmetry on for this, so I want my symmetry to be across these axes. So if I come up to my local symmetry button, hold Alt and tap that, it brings up my Activate Symmetry section, and I can turn symmetry on across multiple axes. If I wanted to do them across the bottom as well, I turn the Y on, but that's perfect. I'm going to be using a lot of Trim Dynamic, one of my favorites. I'm probably going to want a little bit of control over my mouse here. How's life treating you, Tokes? I mean, I suppose being on the bus, you're on the bus, you can text. Not bothered about that bottom bit of geometry there. My new setup means I'm very limited in places to put stuff. So I'm going to swap out my water for my my mug. Oh, new tat day for Toki. That's pretty ace. What is your new tattoo of? I keep threatening to get new tattoos. I got my first tattoo when I was 15 or 16. My second when I was 18, and then I waited until I was 21, 22 before my third. And they're all very small, a little bit meh. Except maybe my third, which is my wife's name. She wasn't my wife at the time. That was a surprise for her as well. But yeah, I've got a Google Drive folder with a bunch of kind of tattoos that I want to try out. Alright, so I'm going to turn my symmetry off now and just start to riff on the inside of this and just add a little bit of noise. if I turn that off and bob my geometry up as well, I can do something quite fun. Let's turn my topology up a smidge more than that, maybe. If I come into my surface noise, we can give myself a little pre-baked. I'm going to go quite aggressive with that, and then just sculpt over the top and see how we do. Now, I'm not going to bake that into the mesh just yet. I've not applied that to the mesh. This is just something that's a part of the rendering. Little ghost of some flowers. That's pretty ace. I mean, if you want to post a link to said junior artist and drum up some business for them, I mean, there are at least 3 people watching this stream. Invaluable coverage. I'm going to be starting to use my social media influencer pull to get free shit soon. Might as well reach out and help the little guys. Right, let's have a look and see here. I'm going super fast right now. So, I mean, this is probably not going to be great, but let's have a little look at how. Nah, hate it. That's not the right alpha, is it? Let's jump into here. There's some that mark. They're all skin alphas. Having this weird glove on is strange. You can get a lot of alphas from the world. I have a bunch of stuff saved. I'm pretty sure I've got lots of poor stuff, but I might have some nice brushes. Can I open 3 at once? And that feels. Let's remove that mask and see how that does. I just loaded one of them in. Ground 1. Let's have a look at what ground 2 looks like. Or ground 8. That feels like more where I want to be. And I'm gonna hoy this on real quick. I don't want to hang around here for too long. This is a tiny part of this. I mean, that feels great. I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket. I'm just gonna start to work in some. Little surface aberrations. Surface. Nice one, Toki. I will certainly do that. Yeah, I've got loads. I want an otter because they're just fucking cool. And I think an otter has been my favourite animal since being a very small person. I was one of those weird kids that kind of I collected like natural history statues. I had this glorious one of a golden eagle, and I had a couple of otters, and they were all gaudy and sort of terribly tacky. But I loved them dearly. I must have been such a weird kid. I'm just really adding a little bit of surface texture here, and none of it is going to be that important because I'm going to smash it down with this brush in a second. It was ground 8 that I enjoyed. See how now that just wraps over the surface a little bit. down for here. That's a very nice little alpha brush. Alright. That feels like I've got a tile. So let's bring up my base again. I have to do some sizing. Oh, you're so big. Oh, it's going to turn like... Nope, turn like bullet off by mistake. There we go. These are just going to sit here. I'm going to do just a repeat, rinse and repeat layout. Oh yeah, weird kids, Tokes. Yeah, I remember I used to love reading about sea creatures. My kid's the same actually. He has encyclopedias, and he'll sit and he'll copy down notes from the encyclopedia, and he'll draw pictures, and like, it's beautiful to watch. But I did the same. But I loved swimming and the ocean and all the creatures. But I ended up reading so much about those creatures that I terrified myself. So I ended up not genuinely being afraid of going into the sea. I'm just going to add a little asymmetry to some of these as I pop them down. And what I'm going to do with those is merge those. Okay, merge down. And we can duplicate them. I can play around with the layout a little bit as I go. Start to offset some of this so that everything doesn't feel too neat. Yeah, terrified myself at the sea. Yeah, isn't it crazy how like we've explored more of space than we have of the ocean. I love the thought of there being, you know, sort of crazy advanced creatures down. We might find a Godzilla at some point. The kind of the possibility of what's down there is kind of crazy cool. And I'm not worried about overlapping or kind of running out of space here because I can fix this. This is a super fast base sculpt for my little goblin man. Yeah, we'll do that again. Do this little flip to mix things up. Back on to just moving one at a time now. Filled in a lot of gaps here. Feels like I have to have one there. Now I'm going to add a bunch of noise to these and mix up the texture and sculpt over the top of them when they're all in place. So I'm not too worried about them being overly similar to each other. be doing something a little bit more dramatic after this. Let's have a quick little mooch on here. Personally digging these tunes. What am I doing? Who knows? Who knows? The bloop. I have no idea about the bloop, Toki. Tell me about the bloop. What is the bloop? How is the bloop? Why is the bloop? This is so you can see why I didn't want to build this in the same space as my I'd be so mad with the person who laid these tiles. What am I doing here? What's going on there? It's invisible. That's mine. Alright, last row now. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Get ready for an essay, guys. Toki's going to tell us all about the bloop. It's a lot of subtools. Let's start merging these down. Need to slow down on my clicks. Just give the CPU a chance to catch up with what I'm asking it to do. I've got a couple of ways of deleting the excess here, or cutting out the excess. Booleans would be one way. I think I'm actually just going to hide all that material and then just delete hidden. It's a bit of a cheese, but I'm alright with cheesing things. Wrong lasso, so let's do this. And we'll just do it in sections. I hate to say it, guys, but I'm liking this little glove. It just feels it, really. I think my movements feel smoother. Now all of this geometry isn't deleted, it's just hidden. So my next move is to go away and delete some of that geometry. So I'm going to come into my geometry settings, modify topology, delete hidden. That's gonna have left me with some crunchy edges. So I'm gonna have to do a quick dynamesh on this. No, it's not turned on. So back into geometry. Let's see how dynamesh copes with this. It's coped just fine. And now I mean it's not a terrible start. What I want to do is sculpt up in between a little bit. So I may very well add another plane on there, because that might work. Yeah, I'll just sculpt straight into this one. Let's make sure dynamesh is turned on. It wasn't. It is now. Okay, so the bloop was always found in the middle of nowhere, and people, scientists, have no idea what it is, and it was a super loud bloop. Hold on, is this a real story? Is this like is this like a real thing, or is it like a fiction story? Oh shit! I know what I'm losing my afternoon to, watching a video on YouTube about the blue. That sounds awesome, Toki. That sounds like a real thing. Hey, Urban. I'm sculpting a base for the three goblins in a trench coat. Because why not? And I'm gonna get on to maybe doing some mittens in a little while. I don't normally do this. I keep telling my students off for changing the focal shift on clay build-up. I'm just going to do a little bit of and even just this, maybe I need some more geometry there. I think this will give me a nice sort of differentiation between the two, a bit between those repeated tiles as well. Soften some bits back and some noise. Hondo P real. Oh, I love how little we understand. I like the world that we live in today and kind of the politics. We think we know everything, and we're kind of everybody kind of prides themselves on knowing shit. Like during Brexit, everybody became an expert. I'm no different. I mean, we all kind of like to peddle our wares in one way or another, and now everybody's an expert in sort of economic matters, but I love like shit like that, shit like the bloop. The bloop makes us realize how insignificant and tiny and stupid we all are, and I love that. I mean, it's not often that something makes you feel stupid and insignificant and you appreciate it. So this, just building up in between, has added a little bit more life to my tiles. Things are starting to feel. I'm going to chuck a little bit of surface noise onto that. Not too much. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that's quite nice. And I'm going to apply to mesh, and it's gone a little softer because I didn't have a huge amount of geometry on that mesh. But that feels good to me. He says, noodling away some more. The nice thing about doing little exercises like this is I know that once I've done this once, these assets will actually be quite useful. I can just resculpt bases or bits of bases. I'm here to just add a little bit of deviation and difference to things now. I mean, slacking and calibrating a printer sound like two different things there. Urban, you want to just chill out. You're doing some work, you're multitasking. Everybody appreciates a multitasker. We'll come back to this brush, and maybe that alpha will be useful now. Not like this. That is actually quite handy. So as I'm diving in off the mesh, it's giving me a really aggressive move. I'll come back to that quite, but damn standard. Turn up my intensity, draw size down, and I'm just going to hack away at some of these edges, I think. Keep doing the same side. clay build-up's the one. So I'm just holding hold on my clay build-up here and just knocking things back a little bit. Keep wrecking the right-hand side of these tiles. It's like they were poorly manufactured. That damn standard again. Just cut across some of this stuff and make it less. Or more. Just adding a little bit of surface deviation again. This is probably all totally unnecessary, but I mean, it's been kind of fun. That looks all right. Only tightening. Well, I mean, if it's not been working for 3 months, then you know, accept that you've done an incredible job fixing it. Don't tell your boss that you've only tightened 3 nuts, and call it a win. Right. I think this is ready to do. So I've got some Boolean stuff turned on. I'm gonna see whether this will, if I hit make Boolean mesh, has it done it for the whole thing? Oh, it's just done it for that. So, oh, that's turned on. Maybe it needs to be out of its box. That's alright, I'm not really that fussed about making it. I want to make a Boolean mesh out of this bottom bit. That's the one that I need to do its job. Oh, it's only doing that one. All these cylinders that are just kicking around can leave. Or spheres. Right, 4 subtools. One of them is currently just hacking out a big chunk of the bottom. But that should work now. There we go, I've got a single. Turned off all the wrong ones. This one is the one that I want to be visible. There you go, nice mesh. What I can do here is I'm going to save this file, save as, ZBrush projects, and we will call that base 1. Now, thanks. I am a big fan of working smart, not hard. If your boss thinks you've done a good job, then you've done a good job. Take the time to be you at work. I don't need any of this stuff now. I probably don't need to be doing this. Let's bang all that out. So I'm just left with this guy. I'm gonna export this as an OBJ. I'll leave it to my ZBrush, and this is base underscore cobbled. It doesn't like question marks, but that definitely feels like a question mark. Now let's get those goblins back on the go, shall we? Here they are. And I dropped in a little proxy base here, but that guy can be removed now. So let's scooch down here, close that up, and get rid of this guy. Delete. And now what I should be able to do is import this. Excellent. position this guy. Ugh. Go around there. I feel like that base should be a little bigger. Because he's only going to be a... No, he's a normal sized dude, isn't he? In total, when he's the... Let's have a little look at that and see how it feels. Goblins, I mean, I did 2 Friday sessions, so that's 6 hours. Plus, I spent about an hour, maybe a bit longer, kind of after last Friday, pushing and pulling things around because I was really unhappy. One of the things I did realize last Friday was I was treating these sessions like teaching sessions, like class, and I wanted to. It was making things feel like work a little bit too much. So I kind of, on Wednesday's session, I just went and completely freeballed some stuff. I'm going to try and keep these sessions a little more kind of light-hearted. And, you know, if you guys have questions about sort of techniques and processes, I'll happily talk through them or talk them through. But really, I'm just focusing on, you know, getting my practice better, and making some cool shit for people. I mean, all of this stuff will be available to download, so if you want 3 goblins in a trench coat for your D&D game, or you want to print this at a bigger scale for, you know, a little print and paint project, I would love for that to happen. Alright, so we got a base. Mittens. I promised someone mittens, didn't I? All right, enjoy the walk back to your digs, I'm assuming. Right, let me see here. I've actually kept this quite nice and neat. I have lost my base though. I think it's in the knife one. I keep doing insert rather than append. For a very long time, I was mad that they have insert and append, because they do basically the same thing. But insert will put a new subtool in wherever you are. Append sticks it at the bottom of your list. I mean, I should use append more, especially when I'm kind of into folders of subtools. Right, this guy feels nice. I'm going to do a little victory render there, I think, just to feel good about things. Treat yourself to a victory render. That's what I say. So a little shift R, and we'll have a little bit of a look at this. Oh, she's taking a while. Oh, I've just had a lovely idea. I think I want to do some scattered coppers on the floor as well, some scattered money. So maybe we'll sculpt a little coin. Yeah, that feels nice. I mean, he's feeling real great. How do I see how many people are watching this? It is hard to tell. Just one. Excellent. It's me and you, Paul. Maybe. I don't care. I do not care. Right, let me think about how I'm gonna do this. Mitten. Let's just do it like I do everything. Append. I'm gonna grab a sphere. Not like that. I'm not. Turn some of this stuff off so that it's not a distraction while I work on a mitten. Alright, let's plant that back in the center in case I need symmetry at any point. I won't, because it's going to be pretty asymmetrical from the start. We got move selected. Got to get into the habit of using my draw size professionally. I'm so used to just bibbing up here every time, and I don't need to do that. Oh, smooth stronger. Get down the mesh on that. Get that down the mesh. Just do a little play around. Keeps turning down the mesh off on me. Going okay. That was like a chunky meat. Oh, you didn't like that, did you? No, let's turn that off. Just come up here and see what I've done with my scarf. Dynamic, scale 3.2. So I want to see what sort of, let's turn that off for a sec. So it's quite low resolution. And it's this chainmail link. Alright. So Dynamic Subdivision has some really, really nice, powerful plugins that I'm going to tap into in a sec. I mean, that could be a lower resolution, so let's jump into my Z remesher. I'm going to keep creases, detect edges, and I'm going to half the polys there. Oh, I'm so used to my machines at work and sitting and having to wait for a little while. So hitting our first hour now. We've got a nice little bit of progress made. It feels like we might be in the right world for this. It was... I think it was that one. Oh, it's too much. So let's turn that off and come back to the remesher. We'll go one more time with that. Actually see some of my geometry there, so that might be helping us. No. It was not dynamic. It was dynamic subdiv. You see how that knit is much thicker now. So let's just find the right one that I'm not sure that's gonna sell. I'm gonna make a little copy of this, hide it, and then do something different. Let's divide that a couple of times. And I'm actually going to sculpt in some of this form. I don't think knitted gloves are that stuff works really nicely for the scarf because it's bigger, I think. Because I think this will be a little nicer if we just spend a little bit of time sculpting into it. Let's put that down standard. I've already got a nice lazy tail on it. I am gonna whack some surface noise onto this again. Again, it's a really nice trick for just getting some extra topology that you don't actually have to work too hard at. That's absolutely perfect. So that guy can stay for now, but I'm gonna turn some of this stuff back on so we can actually. He's got the glove in his face. He's got the glove in his face. Take the glove from my face. I do not like it. What are you doing? This glove here is big. So we're just going to scale it down. I'm going to pop a color onto this. I'm going to make it the same color as his. RGB filled in, color fill object. And this is for me more than anything, the color. The 90 degrees back. trigger, I think. I'm going to move that into his glove. Into his glove. What are you talking about, Richard? Duplicate of that and hide it. Let's do some poking around. And then we'll grab this guy again and just rotate that to be ready to drop on the floor. The positioning there doesn't tell a great story, but I mean, I think that's kind of fun. Right, I'm going to call a little wee break. We've made a little bit of progress there. We've got a base, and we've started to dress up that base. I'm going to get a couple of scattered coins on the floor here as well, so we'll sculpt coin. There was a feature that I saw hidden in a menu on Wednesday that I want to give a little bit of a go to. So I'm going to be back in a minute after I've done a wee. Yeah, BRB. Thanks, Paul. Oh, water over there. Fighting my way back into my seat. I might need to grab a jacket. It's chilly here, but I'm being as northern as I possibly can be and refusing to put the heating on. The kids are allowed heating and Erin's allowed heating in the mornings. But when it's just me in the house, no heat. I've rebuilt my computer desk today, so there's some stuff is gonna be a little wobbly. Right, coins. I'm gonna do a little thing. Let me just think about what I want to do here. I'm gonna need Illustrator. There's a thing I found. I spotted it in a ZBrush menu a little while back, and it will help improve Illustrator, you know. What I want is not the PNG version of this. Ah, perfect. It remembered what I was doing last time. I'm going to file, new. Why did you not go? Oh. I've crashed Illustrator, guys. There we go. Have I crashed it? Oh my goodness, it was being very twitchy then. Alright. So. Oof. Oh, I hate that. I'm so used to ZBrush that I'm holding hotkeys when I shouldn't be. Bouncing between programs that use hotkeys is always super not fun. Let's bin that drop shadow. It doesn't need to be super level. Let's go file, export as. I want that to be exported as an SVG. I'm going to plonk that in my ZBrush projects folder. And then we can. I'm actually going to close Illustrator. And then come back in here. Now, what I should be able to do here is grab a text 3D vector shapes, new SVG. If I look in my, it should be that one. And look at this. So, one of the things I wanted to do with this was give him a little 90-degree rotate. Have that as part of my base. I should have done this before. I didn't think about that. Now I could just let that sit there and have it as a recessed, words. Or I could make a really cool little indent. So I'm going to do that with it. It's kind of cute. I'm going to duplicate that because I want another copy of him on the go. I will make another. I'm going to make another version of that base now. So, quick dash through all of here. Got my base at the start. Let's turn that off. None of that is important, so it's turned off. That's important. Let's get my. Oh, move my base. No. I want to move you a little bit. I don't want you to be too aggressive here. And I'm going to make that as a Boolean mesh. I'm going to go, I'm going to turn that one off. I'm going to go append, new Boolean mesh, which should be that one. Perfect. Alright, so I just smashed a cool little version of my logo into the bottom of my base. Let's turn all this stuff back on. Excellent. So I was talking about having some bits of cobble, some bits of coin scattered as if they've kind of like robbed someone and dropped something like that. Is that the right one? It doesn't look like it. Let's fix that again. So I want to make some coins. And just, I can make a coin. I'm not going to want symmetry, so I'll just make the coin anywhere. Let's come back down here. I'm going to be using one of you, and one of you can be deleted, because you ain't doing a thing anymore. You also can be deleted, because you ain't doing a thing. I'm going to not bother with that one, so. Insert. Let's grab a natty little cylinder. Actually, I'm going to insert another one. It saddens me that that is upside down. I know it's not, and it doesn't matter, but it kind of does to me. Let's whack a dynamesh on that. Oh, didn't like no. Eyes won't do it. Oh, that's gonna be fine. I'm gonna resculpt a bunch of this. Yeah, how loud is the music? Like, I don't think it's gonna be super loud. A good volume, I like that. Cool. Here's where I can do it. I'm gonna need to turn everything else off. Boom. Alright. That's not such a big deal. Let's move you down there. And you got that. Because you're going off, you're going off. Oh, this is going off. So I'm just concentrate on these guys for a minute. And I'm gonna go transform as pivot. I'm gonna go transform as pivot. And they should both now be here. I'm going to all of that faff so that I can do some sculpting on the on this side of the coin. What I'm going to do here is come into. I'm going to go and do a bit of symmetry. Where you at? There you at. I'm going to turn radial symmetry on. It's across my Z. I think I want it. Nope. Oh, no, see this? A lovely amount of radial symmetry. I'm going to turn that up to 12. Alright. Back out of that. Grab a little wee, what am I calling it? A dynamesh. A dynamesh. Now I can kind of come in and do I don't know if I spend ages on this, but it's worth. I think it's worth a little bit of a mess around. Cam standards are a great tool again. But just tighten things up. I'll give myself a little bit of I need more. I need more geometry. Always need more geometry. Not deformation. What are you talking about? We're going to dynamesh this at about 256. That feels nice. I'm going to pop a little extruded there. Have you actually done anything there? Time for some H polish, eh? I might actually have to spend some time on a coin at some point, because there's a really nice bas relief feature in ZBrush that I've not had a chance to play with yet that looks super fun. Could have just turned my radial symmetry up and done that once. Hey, Belial's bounties. Yeah, it is. It's a coin. You've already missed me sculpting the base for the mini, and also some mittens. I mean, I'm just going super fast. I'm just throwing some stuff into this today. I'm probably gonna jump onto something else in a little while. But if I just do a little merge down on this, re-dynamesh that, and I'm going to really aggressively just chuck in some scratches. This is what I love about ZBrush. It makes even shit sculptors able to do cool things. I mean, none of this is going to be remotely visible in the sculpture, in the print. Depending on what time you print this, or what size you print this. I suppose if you print it big, you're going to get the benefit of some of this. That'll do nicely. That's fine. Let's turn that base on. Let's turn everything back on. And then we can drop some of those coins down and have a little look at where we're at. Oh, he's got a big old coin in his mouth. Hey Oz, thanks for joining in. Let's get that out of the way for a second. So that's there. It's a very big coin. But yeah, today we've done a nice little base with a logo underneath. I did a little bit of work and finished up these sculptures in a week. He's dropped his mitten. And no, I just wanted to just throw a little bit of kind of coinage in. I just did what I tell all my students not to do, and that's to move make those a smidge smaller. Trying to peer around my hand here. There we go. Yeah, I just wanted a couple of scattered coins just to fill this base. We'll do a little duplicate. We'll chuck one. I think they should all be in a similar position or similar location. I'm going to move this over here so I can adjust stuff. I mean, that's a little janky. Well, that was a mistake. Let's pop that there while I do a little rotate around. And if I really want to have some fun here, I can turn on, come out of here, turn on material RGB, grab. Yep, I'm gonna color fill objects. I'm gonna grab this one. I'm gonna go color fill object. I'm gonna grab this one. I'm gonna go color fill object. I'm gonna turn this off. Back to my basic. There we go. We've got some shiny coins. That's a bit of fun. That's actually a wonderful, wonderful idea. Maybe that should be the subject of a little Friday hangout. But let's get a little picture of this guy. I think that's his best angle. Do a little Shift R on that and see how we look. Once again, all of these are going to be available at some point to download. So if we do want a little version of this guy, all you need to do is wait. Yeah, the coins with a QR code on is pretty nice. I mean, I'm pretty stoked with that. I mean, we could get some more kind of creases in, but I think for the purposes of that as an exercise, I am calling Gobbo in a trench coat complete. So that, what we're at 2:30, so 6 hours over the previous sessions, maybe an hour in between, 7, and that's 8.5 hours on my Gobbos in a trench coat. I don't get that reference, Belial's Bounties. The man in the Guinness advert. I don't have TV. I mean, I have a TV. I'm not a sociopath. But I don't watch regular TV. Right, I'm calling that guy done. I mean, there's lots of finessing and stuff that I could push into that, but I mean, I think he's a lovely little thing. What I will do whilst I'm here is jump into my 3D print hub. I mean, scale-wise, he feels about right. Is it 23mm for a hero-sized mini? It's a 25 plus a little bit of base. I mean, I can export that straight to an STL. Ah, every time. Export options. Turn that off. I don't need poly paint. Export visible. I always forget this bit. Export to STL. At least I've got my folder. Thanks, Paul. Uno más, one more time. So my Z height, let's go 30. Let's go 32 because there's a base on there as well, and then because he is going to be normal size. Export to STL. The scaling in ZBrush is still a little bit wild as far as I'm concerned. Three gobos in a trench coat being saved. Oh, that's one done. For those of you who are new, I've got one of these wanky gloves on today. I'm giving it a try. It feels weird. Right. What shall we play around with? I have some stuff I'm already working on. I've got Fred Rodney from Wednesday that I could jump back into. Or, I don't have a lot of sculpts here. I was thinking I could play around with some coin stuff. What do you reckon, guys? Brand new sculpt, or shall I jump into this guy? This guy was a few hours on Wednesday, and I spent a lot of that just poking around. Where am I moving it every time? I can just do that. It's really starting to feel quite nice. I did jump in after that session and change up the horns. Follow the dopamine, yeah, right, brother. I mean, I'm reluctant to jump into this because if you look here, this whole sculpture has been about following the dopamine. I have ignored all of my rules. I've got all of this detail and form when I've not been disciplined enough to do it everywhere else. So maybe I don't have the juice for that. This is the problem with not following your own rules. I know that getting this back on track is going to be a bit of a mission. Let's skip that. Does anybody have any? Gustav Klimt, Van Huygens, I mean, I'll take suggestions at this point. Oh man, that could actually be pretty fun. Let's do that. All right. So we're starting from scratch. Now this is another Dare character. Yep. Right. This is making my fingers tingle. It's weird compression. All right, let's do this. Fat Gus it is. This guy's going to be a D&D shifter, which is a kind of lycanthropic ancestry type character. They essentially are generationally lycanthropes, or generational lycanthropes, where essentially rather than being bitten and turned into a kind of man beast, they are it's kind of bred, so they have a little bit more control over things. This particular one is squirrel based. which is super fun. Yeah. Fire that reference over if you don't mind, mate. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna need rules for this, so this is gonna take me a little minute to get properly moving. Oh, sheesh. Yeah, we're playing in a game where all of us are shifters. I'm actually quite excited about it. It's a fun game. Just get some form. What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to hit bony landmarks. This is probably worth you watching if you're coming for a hangout on Wednesday, Paul. Wednesday sessions are going to be super interesting, I think, guys. If anyone can make it along, I'm going to try and sculpt with people. So Paul's going to come and hang out with me a little bit. That's Urban 772 for the next couple of weeks. But I've kind of been speaking to some colleagues. So like Paul's a very new sculptor and very new to ZBrush. His job is sort of creative in a kind of engineering-y type way. Dude can do a fucking paint finish though, but he is very new to sculpting, so I'm gonna be kind of walking through a lot of those kind of noob steps, and a lot of that is kind of following or just talking through the rules that I have in place for this sort of thing. Let's see whether we've got reference. Where are you sending that reference, Paul? Nope, here it is. I didn't wait long enough. Thanks for the share, Belials. My face looks fucking red. I do have a lot of pink sort of backlight. And also, we've hit winter, so my rosacea is going batshit crazy. Let's have a look here and see what this reference looks like. Right, I'm gonna have to bring that up. 1 second, guys. Let's do that. Alright, this is going to be a bunch of fun. It's a very cool dynamic pose. I mean, it's not a huge amount to go off in regards to reference, but I mean, let me just slide this down here and you can have a little look. There we go. That's what we're going for. That's our reference. Alright, so he is all squirrely. Alright, so all of the work and energy that I've done so far is going to be pretty pointless, but I'm going to carry on because this is, hey, these are things, are rules for a reason. And he needs to be at least a bit kind of human-y. I'm assuming she doesn't want him to look entirely squirrely. Geometry's fucking me up. How long have we got left? We're at 2:30. Normally finish at around 4. I've got to pick my kids up from school by 5:30. So I can probably hang out a little bit longer today if we get into a good rhythm, find some fun. A lot of these fairly moves are just kind of me finding some space to play. and trying some stuff out. Right, let me see this. Right, let's... just doing a little bit of organization so I can see some reference that I've just grabbed. Keep this guy. Well, that could be a nod to being a bit squirrely. What I like about shifters is they kind of retain an aspect of their kind of lineage even when they're not transformed. So we can definitely lean into some squirrel effects. Squirrels have sticky up pointy ears, so I'm going to map some ears in as well. Oh god, I'm ready to go get a jacket. Same old move for me. Drop a sphere in. Do shit to the sphere. Let's make sure down the mesh is turned on. I'm going to drop these down a little. I reserve the right to put them back up on top of the head later. I think that feels okay for now. Modify topology, mirror weld. It feels a little ratty rather than squirrely right now, but it's not a bad start. I'm fully jacketed up now because it is getting cold in here. Let me just grab a quick eyeball brush. A little IMM for dropping eyeballs in. I normally just drop a sphere in, but these are super fun. I'm gonna actually just split those out. I know IMMs will embed it into the mesh, but I want them as a separate IMM, separate tool for the time being. And draw. Let's go get the clay build up. And we can come and hang out in here on the front. Too much. none of this is real or permanent. I'm just whacking some shapes in for now. Let's see where we end up. Back to a big brush. Let's turn this off. Here we go. Back up here. What was it? Big old long automatic arch. I'm doing zero talking again. Let's have a little look. He's looking like a nice, fat, heroic squirrel. At least for the time being. I'm just going to dive in with my move brush. And I like to do this as a kind of refining move when I've whacked in some form like that. I've not got anything going on here. I need some decent squirrel reference. Things that I didn't think I'd say in my life. I need to look at more pictures of squirrels. I need more squirrels. Squirrel me. Big cheeks need to get bigger. Squirrel. Grab some images. I don't know if I can really dial in on what a squirrel nose looks like. Oh, it's one of those noses. I see now. Let's have a little look at that. See what we get going. Little squirrel nose like this. Again, I think with something like this, I'm going to be sort of balancing that line between sort of traditional human anatomy. Oh shit! I did not mean to do that. Let's. But I think there's a nice little blend that we can find here. This top lip is bisected, but I'm not gonna steer into that too much. Oh, maybe I will, because that looks fucking cool. damn standard here. Just find some forms. What I like to do with the damn standard as well is pop that on a alt brush and just step forward so I get a nice plane on my lip. I think I love the profile. I mean, there's a little work to do around the nose, but I think this guy's starting to look pretty good. Let's not chuck in a bit of body in here. Now I'm going to grab some Iron Man brushes in a minute, but I do like to do my own torsos. Be all the way big. She is absolute chaos. And I love that. We all love that about her. Let's see whether we can find a bit of Big Gus here. Now, this is one of the things I love about ZBrush, the speed at which you can just churn stuff out. We are minutes into this version of this guy. And that feels about right. I'm going to map in some bony landmarks because what I do have is a bit of sort of material coming down from here. Let's tell my geometry along here. Might be a bit much, but over some bony landmarks. His shoulders in about the right place. Pectorals are going to do this, even though his are going to be a bit saggy. Put it back here for my rib cage, coming back and up to about that. Just give him a wind. I can work on his gut a little bit later. A big move around here. I need to turn the intensity, or I need to turn the dynamics down. It's probably more accurate. Almost there. Now, this guy's a big dude, but he's also going to have to be quite strong. So I'm still mapping out some sort of musculature where I can. A shoulder blade that's going to come in and sit around there somewhere. Ribcage is going to come up, and then we'll have muscle that does this. I want that to be a bit more of a sharp line, so I'll just soften that up. what did that? Oh, I didn't know that could do that. That's good. Oh, how do you remove things from OBS? Ah, well, that ship has sailed. Alright. It's time to do a little cheat, I think. Let's grab this IMM body parts section. I absolutely dig the arms from here. I don't have to move those out, but they feel like when they're down. Yeah, slightly broader shoulders. He feels like he's going to be an absolute dude. Let's put them in a slightly more neutral pose. So IMM tools are a big old cheaty cheat, but I think they're okay. I can sculpt arms. I've sculpted many arms. And that is how I justify doing the big old cheat. Same's going to happen with legs in a second anyway, so... As far as I'm concerned... Oh, would he have? Probably would. But let's just drop some of these legs in for now. Whee! Gus is looking sexy. Look at that. He's ready for you. Ladies, boys. Whatever Gus wants, Gus gets. Yeah, I'm going to want to very much digigrade kind of these legs. I'm going to thicken them up first. Yeah, I mean, Gus is an absolute beast. I'm going to fix these legs. These are just placeholders. We all know that they're just placeholders. I'll probably end up using bits of them, but for the most part, what I want to do is just use them to have some form in place. It's going to have a thick trunk. Look at that. Junk. We'll get onto some of that in a little while. Oh, shut the front door. I didn't enjoy that. What's going on there? I feel like Gus definitely has a little apron. That was too much of an apron, but I'll come and fix that later. What's going on now? I should do a little play around with my geometry because Dynamesh is going fucking nuts. because his head needs to be bigger. Alright, I'm going to try and digigrade these legs a little bit. That is far too high a resolution. This is going to get real crunchy. I need to not do that. Well, let's go back and let's... That's fine for this bit. Logo stuff, Oz. I was bouncing around for years and then lost patience with my artistic ability and went to one of those online chaps. I think it cost me £60. And he came back, and a lot of them were average. We had like a little interview process. A lot of his suggestions that he did were very average. And then in amongst them, there was that incredible. I fucking love it. It's incredible. He absolutely nailed it. But yeah, it took a little while. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we can do ourselves. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, I'm very good at a lot of things. But actually having a professional person to do it, and for £60, I mean, they did a grand job. So I'm only giving him slightly. His feet are real. So if I do something like this. I shouldn't have aggressively smoothed that so much. Let's give it a little knock. You can be aggressively smooth though, because that's all shit. It looks like he's wearing high heels. His back face mask not even turned on. This is bullshit. I hate it when back face mask should just be constantly on. Should just fucking cut those off, shouldn't I? Let's do that. I've managed to make my chat really small, and I don't know how to get it out. Oh dear. Have a good broadcast. Catch promo code 10 viewers for 24 hours. Blah blah blah. I don't have. What are moderators? I don't have any of that business. How do I get my chat? Docs. Unlock docs. Excellent. I can grab you out. Bin that. Excellent. I found my chat. Right, let's make this bigger and I can see what's going on in the chat again. There we go. Oh, much nicer. Wow. I mean, what can I do about that? I don't think I can do anything about that. I can give them a timeout. Yes, great. Get blocked. Ha ha! I brought down the banhammer hard and fast. Good spot, Oz. Can I delete the comment? I'll report them as well. Bot. You're a bot. Be gone! Definitely a bot. I feel like I'm kind of going up in the world. It's my first spam bot. And they clearly like this, you know, have a good, they were kind. Right, let's get back onto Gus. Because you know what? Gus needs to have a bigger head and or a smaller body. So let's just get that back. Gets back here. Yeah, that feels nicer. No, it doesn't actually. Let's see how we get on with that. Alright, I've mapped out a little bit of feet there. Let's go insert sphere for another subtool. I think the hardest thing about designing your own is all of the ideas and the options. I mean, I did quite a bit of kind of looking around into what makes a good logo, and it's, you know, it's simplicity, it's whether it works in black and white, you know, it's how close it ties into your kind of stuff. And I think some of the time we're a little too close to our own worlds to really be able to see whether what we're doing is reasonable or not. I think that's the hardest thing. Gus's tail is going to be way more glorious than this, but I think that's a reasonable starting point. Right, I'm going to do a little pass on this body and get some actual anatomical form in. Like I said before, I came in and I kind of found things. Found like where my rib cage sat, and we've kind of lost all of that as we've meshed it out. So rib cage is going to be up here. He is going to have pectorals that do this, but they are going to be probably a little on the rotund side. I'm going to give him some. Oh, he's got tits, actual tits. Those of you who were in my stream on Wednesday, I pretty much sculpted a penis for the first hour. It was thrilling. I was horrified when I found out. When I realised. finding out makes it seem like it was an absolute kind of curveball. I did it. Give him some little under tits as well. Yeah, I think with the logo stuff, I think the only reason I did it was because I got a discount code, and it really is a gamble. In fact, I can probably find the lot that was sent through to me and show you kind of, because it was like, oh, these are okay. This one's brilliant. We're going to my drive. There you go. Just, oops. There you go. They were the options that I had. The Michael Jackson Thriller one. Yeah. This one looks like it could be a good industrial one. These two are my favorites. But you can see there's that ticks all the boxes. Still, So yeah, that was what 60 quid got me, or 65 quid. Oh, got that one. Well, nuts, no. Yeah, I think it was just fortuitous, Oz. I mean, sometimes life does that to you. All those times we've talked about life turning around and kicking you in the ass. I think for 60 quid I got a pretty good deal there, but it was luck rather than judgment. Oh, thanks to this sculpt, I'm going to have to start looking at some reference images of fat people. I'm going to have to turn this tail off. It's getting in the way. I still want this guy to feel pretty strong, even though he's a big boy. So kind of having to find, striking that balance between kind of weight and let's grab my damn standard and just give him an ass crack. What? Wild gooch. Yeah, I'm sorry about this, guys, but I'm gonna have to do this. Give him a little acorn. I need more resolution for his penis. Again, we can add that to the list of things I didn't expect to be seeing anytime soon. Perfect. Yeah. I know what I'm about, son. Oh man, have I gotten to the end of my chill out tunes? Let's re-up those, because I'm digging having a little bit of music in the background. Let's jump in and get some work in on these thighs, because these are all, you can see, even though I've thrown in an IMM tool, I'm about doing most of them. They're just there to get us started. really the work we want to do is our own. Keep clicking windows over the chat. Hey, Dor. I mean, I'm not in official work mode, but you need to send me an email. That's all I'm going to say. Hope you're doing okay, kiddo. Thanks for joining in. I mean, you could jump on your own browser, bump my numbers if you really, really wanted to. Bump those numbers. Those are rookie numbers, kid. Right. These shins are wild. Everything's a bit wild about this guy so far. I think he's got the feel of a squirrel. I mean, worse squirrel. My hero. Yeah, thanks, mate. I don't know how I feel about the numbers thing. I mean, the whole point of doing something like this is to get people to watch you. Or is it? I mean, part of it is. I mean, I'm not so kind of secure in my life that I can be like, yeah, I don't want anybody to be interested in this shit. But the real reason, like the reason I wanted to do this was to make me practice more. I've realized that I am very poorly intrinsically motivated. It's very difficult for me to do things for me. But I am exceptionally good at kind of doing things for other people. Like if I've got a Saturday to myself and I've got a million jobs to do in the house, I can very easily crash it all and just get nothing done. But if you ask me to come over and help you replumb a few radiators, I'll do it, and I'll spend all day doing it, and I'll be a good little grafter. And I think I'm kind of trying to tap into that with this. If I feel beholden to kind of doing these Twitch streams, I'll actually do the practice, and that's what I want to do. I want to get better at this stuff. I think in my head, people watching are a bonus. But again, I'm not so kind of secure in my kind of self that, if no one turned up, I wouldn't be a little sad. And I wouldn't, and on the same note, if I managed to get a bunch of people watching me sculpt, squirrel dicks, I'd be utterly delighted. Alright, you can tell I'm not used to sculpting a lot of fat pads. There's a little bit too much definition on here and not enough weight. I can feel all of that being a little. Hey, Dor. I do sincerely hope you're well. And thanks for bumping my numbers. Is there a way I can tell how many people are actually here, other than just counting the chat? Of course you do. And I've always said that about you, Lucky. Obsessed with PPs. I also hope you're well. I mean, you're only upset she's here because you were about to start talking about his PP. Is that too much? It's too much, isn't it? That's very sweet of you, Lucky. Every Friday, and now, bonus, Wednesday evenings. Wednesday evenings are actually, I'm really looking forward to. Not that I don't look forward to this, but Wednesday evenings I'm going to kind of invite people to come and hang out. So for the next couple of weeks, while I get kind of into it, it's going to be my buddy Paul, who's brand new to ZBrush and not particularly artistic. People don't sculpt enough PPs. They really don't. I think I'm happy to jump up in my geometry here. Let's jump into my Dynamesh. Yeah, so Wednesdays I'm gonna it's gonna start off with me and Paul just hanging out, chatting, doing some sculpture, and then eventually kind of other people are gonna come on board. So a couple of one of my colleagues from work has agreed, and he's wonderful at ZBrush. So what I'm hoping is that I can kind of have chats going on, but also kind of, you know, skill development conversations about, you know, different tools that we use and how we approach sculpture. And then, you know, maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to get some of my buddies from industry interested in coming along for a chat. And this is kind of, that idea has grown out of a chat I had with Don Lanning about doing some sculpt-alongs, you know, where we both sit with clay. It's just, it's much easier to do it with digital clay than it is practical clay. And also, I'm in love with ZBrush. I mean, I might make the migrate permanent. We can just print shit these days. That was a long move. Yeah, hostage seems strong. Now that I've got more resolution, I can give his PP some more attention as well. Not a lot more. Still don't have a huge amount of polys down here. No, I'm not allowed to sculpt pernices. I mean, it's not really much of a pernice, is it? It's just some blobs. What a shame that is. They're missing out on the joys of little acorn dicks. Hold on. So I can say dicks, but I can't show dicks. Good to know. I really should have read some Twitch rules before I started any of this. Hold on, so I can't sculpt nipples onto this guy. Wow. I mean, this is what's happened. This is what all this dick picking that you guys get up to has done to the world. Everyone's afraid of... I'll give it a little soften out so it's less noticeable. Nice. I'm gonna send over some dice picks. I'd be alright with unsolicited dice picks, to be honest. That's kind of where I wouldn't mind living. Oh, we've got a few people dropping in now. This is awesome. Welcome, guys. I'm sculpting a squirrel. dude. This is one of the guys in the chat who I play a game of D&D with suggested that I work on this. This is a friend's D&D character. They're a squirrel shifter. So they have kind of a... Shifters in D&D are lycanthropes, but kind of generationally kind of detached. So this guy hasn't been bitten by a were squirrel. He was born into it. I think I need to do some proportional fucking around. I'm gonna just get rid of his hands. Chop his hands off. Drop them from every measure. Not every measure, every time. Delete hidden. I'm just going to do a quick dynamesh on that. I'll sculpt some hands in later. Life in general is I mean, it's all right. Lucky, I'm very, very fortunate in my life in that I have a beautiful family and a wonderful wife. So anything that kind of bothers me is kind of superseded by that. My life is gorgeous. I'm so happy. But yeah, work's hard. Work's probably harder than it's ever been. And we're just kind of spending most of my time trying to give people good service and, you know, an experience that they can come away from with, you know, fond memories and good skills. And that's getting harder and harder all the time. And it's real frustrating. There's a distinct possibility I'm not going to be program leader on the course for much longer. Because I just want to concentrate on doing the stuff and hanging out with the students, and I feel like I'm getting bogged down with paperwork. But you know, I've got a wonderful family and a great life, and I'm very fortunate that a big part of my life is getting to, you know, dick around and make things like this. So yeah, that's an update on my life. I also miss you. I think what's been lovely about this chat is I've got graduates popping in and saying hello. Oh, and this guy as well. Hey, buddy. Anniversary was one of our flatter ones, Oz. We are both very busy and very tired. So we sat on the sofa and we cuddled and we watched a little bit of Game of Thrones. And then about 15 minutes into the episode, Erin went to bed. Because that's what happens with life sometimes. I'm not worried about it. I'm not beating myself up over it. I'm just a little too tired for that kind of business at the minute. I think I need to come in a little bit. Do I need to come in a little bit? Don't know, too much. Something's off on a form front here. Kate? Is that our Kate? Is that my Kate? Who is Kate? Hey, Jack. How are you, buddy? Bag shot. You little wonderful person. Thanks for dropping in and saying hello. You've missed. I've only been on this for probably about approaching hour 1 on this guy now. The start of this session was finishing off my goblin in a trench coat, so we sculpted some gloves and a base. That was kind of fun. What does that mean? Lol. Lol. Twitch global emote. Huh. We've had a bot. I feel like I've finally achieved Twitch career success by having a bot in my chat being like, oh, ooh, you should click this link. I don't even know what they said. Oh no, I'm sculpting a fat squirrel. Where squirrel? I think is the... Again, we want to mapping out. I'm being very conscious of bony landmarks here. I'm trying to find that shin bone so I can come down this plane and then open it up into the top of my foot. Get low. Ankles. I'm starting to find my... Okay, everyone going crazy with emotes now. I'm old, guys. I don't know how any of that shit works. I need to phone you later about rooms on Wednesday. Cool, will do. Let's pop in and hang out in the face for a little while. I feel like I've neglected it because I think I made some really nice moves to start off with. Let's give him a bit more of a chin. Hey Maria, is that getting printed today? Yeah, we're probably going to try and do... I'd like to kind of get back onto the cons because I think they're quite useful for us. I was going to probably have a little chat with Kate and May. Yeah, not next academic year, next year, I think. Liverpool, Manchester, that kind of region are probably within reach of energy levels and all that jazz. I did have an idea for that as well, and what I might do is see whether we can print a bunch of shit to kind of give away. So I'm going to bring some little models to give away on the stall as well. That could be quite cool. Maybe I'll do some coins. All right, Maria. So you are trying to figure out a mold. Can you explain what you're up to? I mean, if you're not getting it on the print today, then we've got a little bit of time. But hopefully, I can kind of walk you through what you need doing. Can't do words. Really struggling with words. Let's turn that down a little more. You say all the nicest things, Jack. You say all the nicest things. Right, let's smash up my geometry a little bit here. Let's creep. I say creep it up. I just did another 100. Let me start to. So what I'm going to try and do here is, rather than giving it that split lip, let it feel like that with a really tight fulcrum. These are an IMM brush. I can show you that. I just get all these little options and I can just draw them out. It's just nice to just be able to chuck shit in when you're going fast. I've come to terms with the fact that IMM brushes are absolutely cheaty. Because they're part of the program. They are an option, so I'm going to use it, even if I feel bad. I don't feel really bad because, I mean, it lets me do cool shit. I mean, I could sculpt that if I made the time, but because some other kind soul has made the time, I don't have to. Oz is fighting Eudor. I mean, I feel like I've got my own kids at home. I don't want to have to deal with you guys as well, but I mean, if you need to, I will sit you on a step. That's real nice, mate. It's real nice. My back isn't twisted as much. I think the big thing for me was that twist in the back that was absolutely murdering me. It's nice to have such a big screen. I don't know if you've noticed as well, but I'm wearing one of the wanky gloves. Yeah. I feel like Gambit. I thought I'd give it a little go, and I actually quite like it. Yeah, I know. I've been avoiding it for a real long time, but it's actually quite nice. And my fingies are warm as well. I mean, it's cold in here. Yeah, I assumed as much. Door, go sit on the step for 5 minutes. I think before I do any more real work on this, I need to do some fat person reference. There's too much going on the face. But I'll soften all that out as I get through. Here's the thing. Now, let's be kind to ourselves. I'd say you're solid, I wouldn't say fat. I don't even know if squirrels have teeth like this, but kind of in my head they do. Fucking trim dynamic, that's not what I wanted. H-polish. Do squirrels have teeth like this? It's not like I'm sat in front of the computer, but I kind of feel like I want them to, so I'm going to stick with it. And this is just a rough placeholder. I can come in and do a little bit more on those. Let's mask off that. Ugh. Sometimes I want mask to be a much more obvious colour. Nice seeing you, Jack. Thanks for coming and saying hi. Oh, I'm almost time for a wee break, guys. There's a lot of anatomy here that I need to kind of figure out how to bounce together. I need to do hands. Right. I'm going to take a little tinkle, guys. I'll be back momentarily. Gonna put my wee little waiting banner up. Oh. You're a troublemaker. Troublemaker, Lucky. Oh, that's not the right move. What you damning at, Dorian? What you damning at? I think I need to actually sculpt some hands as well now. It might be time. Depends what for, mate. They feel a bit more squirrely. Let's look at my squirrel reference as well. A flap over the top. So we need to twist them around a smidge. A bit more like that. Let's get Dynamesh down here. Dynamesh is one of those things that should be on until you turn it off. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory musical. I'll give it a look. I mean, what I've started to do is kind of go on little research binges in between these sessions, so that when I do kind of get on, I can focus on doing the stuff. I mean, bam, bam, bam. I realised that Lucky asked how I was, and I didn't return the favour. How is life treating Lucky? I've been following your art stuff, and it's looking like you're doing alright, kiddo. Is life treating you kindly? How's your future husband? Is he a jerk? Do I need to have words? Admin paperwork stuff. It's the curse of all artists everywhere. terrible burp. I think those eyes might be big. This is brave. Fucking about with already established eyes. Not quite. Maybe that. Let's see how that feels. Let's pop perspective on for a second and see what we're doing with him. Yeah, this is going all right. All right, I'm gonna have to tackle these hands, aren't I? Oh, I really don't want to. I think hands are officially one of my least favorite things to sculpt. They're complicated, messy, and everybody knows what they look like, so if you get it wrong, people are like, oh, it's fucking rogue. And yeah, it just makes me feel like I suck. Hashtag no hands. I mean, yeah, wouldn't that be a nice world? I mean, it wouldn't, because we just like drop shit all the time. World of spillages. This guy doesn't have pockets. It's a werewolf. Well, thing. Right, let's see how we go here. Ugh. Not even a papoose. I fucking love a papoose. Do squirrels don't have a form of pouchage? I suppose they have mouth pouches, don't they, for stuffing things? But yeah, marsupials are pouchy. I'm alright, I'll get into hands. I mean, the more I do it, the better I'll get. I mean, that's the whole deal with this shit, isn't it? Getting better and better. Getting better all the time. Yeah, it's just the whole point of these sessions is for me to get better, so I can't shy away from sculpting stupid hands. I mean, I could have just dragged some IMMs in, but I don't mind it with feet so much. Arms, not so much. Hands, I don't know. It just does. It feels. Maybe it's because I know I struggle with hands. Right, I'm gonna look at some squirrel hands. Second time you've done that in the chat door. There. So, who's watched the finale of She-Hulk? because I was super impressed with it. Alright, we got 4 fingers. No thumbs on these bad boys. 4 fingers. Alright, so we're going to have, I think it looks like from a pad positioning point of view, we have this sort of thing going on. Keep losing my mouse. I do. I mean, it's not great, but it's here. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, on a reference image front, I'm struggling at the minute because I've got so many screens on the go. I need to kind of figure out my balance. But I found a tool called PureRef, which is really good. It's just essentially a big open window where you can drop reference images into and then move around them and scale, and it's very cool. If anybody who hasn't tried it, give it a go. PureRef, it's good. I'm not going to do that. What am I doing? Let's delete that. Come back over here. Let's do a duplicate. It's a bit lazier. Oh, that's a chunky finger, isn't it? So let me see here. I do this and plonk 1. I know they don't have thumbs, but I feel like I want to give him a thumb because he's like a little bit, he's kind of person-y. So do that. Let's go back to this one. Just track back through the history because that one was placed all right there. If I do a little thumb there as well, I can do 3 little fingers here. I mean, I don't think they're evil. They are just doing what animals do. They're surviving. I've got these hands. These finkies are pretty thick. Let's get that one positioned. Move you. I mean, they are mean to the red squirrels, but the red squirrels need to, you know, toughen up a bit. Defend themselves. I don't know a lot about squirrels, not gonna lie. To stretch out my back. My new screen setup is so much nicer, but it still hurts my back. It's got like that. I'm going to twist you as well. It's going to make you feel a little more thummy. I'm going to smash all this together now, which is probably a dumb call, but let's do it anyway. Merge down, merge down, merge down, merge down. Kiai! Little Dynamesh. Ace. So I can now start sculpting in here and making this feel a bit more handy. I'm actually going to turn off some of Gus's body so I can focus on Love that about ZBrush. If that was real life, you're kind of poking around, trying to... I can't quite get my tool in here to do the thing. ZBrush, I'm just going to turn that shit off until I'm ready for it. Just going to put a knuckle on each of these. Yeah, the last episode of She-Hulk was pretty special. I've enjoyed the show generally. I've been spending most of my time getting mad at the internet, getting mad. Like, between Lord of the Rings and She-Hulk, I mean, the internet is being properly shit at the minute. Everyone needs to just chill the fuck out. These are good shows. But then again, they would say that I'm some sort of cuckold for enjoying these shows that are apparently kind of blasphemous to their... Oh, fuck them. Fuck those jerks. Oh, Interview with a Vampire. That was a pretty fun movie. I read the book recently. Oh, I mean, I listened to the book recently before I cancelled my Audible subscription, because life's getting hard for us all now, guys. Oh my goodness, the Black Elves thing was just utterly stupid. So yes, well, Tolkien was writing in Britain, and we were mostly, and it was based on Celtic and Northern European. Suck your own dick, because that's what you need. You need to just chill the fuck out. It's not 1920 anymore. You know what? I mean, I'm going to come back to the powerful girl and making herself. It's just, what is wrong with people? But the dwarven princess, I can't remember her name, but that actress fucking kicked ass. She chewed up every single scene she was in. I loved hanging out with her every second. And she felt so properly dwarven. Utterly beautiful acting, casting. Just such a lot of fun. And she was gorgeous as well. Just so, yeah, fucking loved it. I mean, I loved all of the dwarf bits. Durin was amazing. Is it Durin? I'm dying myself now. Now, this is where the internet... chaps would jump onto my lack of remembrance as being a lack of care about Tolkien and his history. And you know what? I don't give a shit. They're right. They were shit books. Tolkien was not a great writer. Tolkien was a very, very wonderful world builder. But fuck me, those books are difficult to read. You have to work real hard. Yep, Jordan and Elrond, absolutely best bit. You want to meet Halbrand? Yeah, only a few episodes in because we stopped watching it to move on to Dragon, House of the Dragon, to let a couple of episodes build up. I can't cope with having to wait a week for episodes of a good show. We'll finish House of the Dragon, and then we'll get it's on our list to get back to it. But I was genuinely really enjoying it. What a beautiful world, gorgeous world building, and I think I also, part of me liked it in spite of those people who, as Lucky said, saw a powerful girl and was just like, no, we can't have this. Brown people? No, they can't have heroic characters either. Just make them all white. And dudes, please. Just white dudes. We want to be powerful. If you think about it, you know, we're all, you know, white middle-aged straight dudes are actually probably more repressed than anybody else these days, aren't they? We have such a hard time of it. Oh, Matt Smith is pretty spectacular in House of the Dragon. Talking of someone who chews up scenery, he's just having an absolute blast in that show, isn't he? Really fun character. And then, you know, just enjoying himself. He's got a good bum. I don't think I've noticed Matt Smith's bum. Yeah, I must be too middle-aged, white and straight for that to have registered. I normally like a good buttocks. I'll tell you about the time I tried to convince my wife to track down Henry Cavill when he was in the Lake District so we could steal him and bring him home. He's a beautiful man. Crumbs. I'd noticed those buttocks. What am I doing with trim dynamic? Why have you got a lazy tail? Let's turn that off. Too much. Abort. Henry or Matt. I mean, both would be pretty cool, I think. Henry Cavill does seem like a bit of a dude, though. I think he's a bit too pretty, to be honest. I don't think I could cope. Right, so let's whack some knuckles on this. I've kind of got a bunch of the forms blocked in here. I'm not going to labour these too much right now. I just want something that I can drop in and that can feel a little handy. Handy. Ugh, it feels gross. I feel ashamed of myself for these hands. I never got into Warhammer. I think that's slightly more powerful nerddom than I'm able to deal with. It's real complex. I've got a friend who is properly into. In fact, he wants me to sculpt a little bit of kind of scenery for him at some point, which I'll drop into one of these sessions. But yeah, like he was like quite big in the Warhammer scene in London, like won some prizes and shit. He's a cool little artist. But yeah, it's like the level of nerddom required for D&D is pretty high, like compared to normal people's level of nerddom. But I think Warhammer just, yeah, if you don't get into that when you're a kid, you're utterly fucked. Alright, that finger's causing me issues, so I'm just going to do a little... Nope, not like that. I'm not like this. Let's switch that back away. Let's get a little bit of movement on those hands. Yeah, I am kind of unreasonably excited, to be honest. I was tentatively kind of excited about it. Nah, I was wrong. And then the first trailer dropped, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm into this. I was hoping they'd sort of play it a little kind of tongue-in-cheek, and I wanted, like, real life. Ooh, what happened there? I don't know what's going on here. Oh, it's when I'm just moving stuff around. Yeah, like real life stuff. I wanted them to kind of, I wanted the character to die, and then the same actor to turn up in the next scene just wearing different clothes and a kind of have a completely different personality. I wanted stuff like that to happen. And, I mean, we never know, it still might. But yeah, it looks really fun. I don't understand these. It's same with the Lord of the Rings guys. I don't understand people who get upset about people making new art of their favorite shit. It's like, surely just something happening in that world is enough. Alright, those hands feel like they've got a little bit of something going on. They're not great, but I can pop back in and refine some of this later. Quite like that pad work. It's not accurate, but it's fun. Right, let's get some stuff turned back on and see where we're at. Oh, we're past 4 now. Yeah, Rings of Power isn't perfect by a long shot. I mean, but the brown people aren't the problem. The women aren't the problem. The speed the story moves at in those first few episodes are kind of. I'm enjoying. I don't mind things that are kind of paced at kind of a more kind of glacial rate. I love Blade Runner 2043. For that exact reason, I liked the fact that it wasn't in a hurry to get to action and explosions and shit. But yeah, the pacing feels a little off in Rings of Power, and some of the writing is not necessarily writing. I don't know. Some of the dialogue feels a little clunky, but I mean, it's Tolkien, so clunky dialogue should be expected. Par for the course. Alright, Gus has got some hands, and I think they feel kind of nice as well. I'm going to jump onto here and do a quick mirror and weld. And we'll give him a little render and see where we're at. Yeah, that's not a bad start. Oh. I might keep going for a little bit. I'm enjoying this. So he's got hands. I think over here. I'm not ready to tackle feet yet. Oh. Let's sculpt out his penis so that the Twitch gods don't get mad at us. Let me see. Don't like any of that business going on. I've not done any work around this neck here. I need to really define these forms. I think I'm getting tired here, guys. Oh. Yeah, I think it's time to call it there. Thanks for hanging out. We did four and a bit hours. We'll do a little recap of our time while I save as. I'll save that in my brushes. Let's get that saved. So, Fat Gus was an hour in the making. I can kind of track back through some history there. We started off with a little sphere and just went nuts. So I think the body was a fun one. Oh, it's not enjoying that. Yeah, that body resize was a good move. So again, just mapping things out, using a couple of IMN tools just to chuck some stuff in there. Yeah, I think he's looking really good, and I'll jump back into him on Friday. I think we'll be able to get some, the refining and things like that done on him. What else did we do today? We got this guy finished off. In fact, I showed off this guy from Wednesday as well. I'm very excited about this guy. Wednesday was a real treat for me because I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I wanted to sculpt, and I just noodled around for a little bit. And this guy is where we're at. And then we've got 3 gobos. I mean, this is ready to go. If you wanted to drop me a message on sort of Insta or Facebook or somewhere like that, I'll send you the file over. And then 3 gobos and a trench coat is a fully finished, printable miniature. And I'm really stoked with that. So this is a couple of weeks' work we're looking at, but I mean, I think we worked it out. I did two sessions on this guy. That's 3 hours each session, so 6 hours. Plus, I did like a little bit of remedial stuff, fixing things. That's 7, and then an hour and a half today. So 8.5 hours. That's not bad. 8.5 hours for a fairly complete sculpture. I mean, I could push this way further, but I don't have the juice. I've got 3 distinct goblins. Oh no, I wanted to do one more thing. Let's do that before we go, because this guy's not finished. I'm not done. When am I ever done? I'm absolutely exhausted though. I can feel it now. Let's go real quick on this. I've always loved the 3D and the 3 goblins in a trench coat trope. If you wanted to play this in D&D, I'm sure there's a mechanic for having, I think it was 3 wizards in a trench coat when I saw it, but you can actually have 3 character sheets rolled up, and each of them takes turns being the top head, which I kind of love as a mechanic. I think some of you will be able to see where this is going now. Yeah, I meant to do this because I've dropped a bunch of asymmetry into this guy's jaw, so I meant to just pop in a little kind of pug tooth. Oh, I'm gonna have to do a little resculpt here, I think. Oh wait, I'll get away with this. I'll get away with this. Yeah, I think I've survived that relatively unscathed. I don't really even think I need to do any sort of extra work around there. So let's re-output this. Export to STL. 3 Goblins. Oh wait, I need to put that in my STLs folder. Are you going to print this as a little statue? There you go. That guy feels finished now. I mean, all three of them have loads of personality. You know, this guy looks like Fred Astaire every time I see him. We've got the little psycho crazy guy, and then like super strong, dumb friendly guy. I don't think supports are gonna be too much of an issue. I mean, I've not tried printing it myself, but it's mostly solid blocks. I think ears, you might need a little bit of support. There's a little bit of flappiness here, but I think this should print relatively easily. But again, I've not had a chance to do that, so it's up to you guys. Yeah, I'm getting those feels from him. Yeah, so that's I'll investigate this week somewhere to stick models when they're finished, so that people can just grab them. Yeah, if you want to get in touch, either you send me a message on Insta or something like that, and I'll be able to find a way to get the models out to you for the time being. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go and have a wee little sleepy. I'm going to save this guy as well. I'm not going to have a sleepy. I'm going to go watch a little bit of telly before I need to pick up my kids from school. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been an absolute blast, and I will catch you Wednesday.